Oh, hi, good morning and welcome on into Ireland AM on Virgin Media 1.
Picked him up at the side of the road when I was coming to work.
I was thumbing a lift into work.
Mad.
Yeah, I'll go in. Your Tommy's off.
He happened to be a bit early, that was it.
He's gallivanting, is he?
He's gallivanting.
Where is he?
Himself and Alan are gallivanting together. They're in
Oh, tongues will wag.
We will explain all next week. But today, it is Wednesday, the 25th of October, and we've got lots in store for you on today's show.
Yes, we do. Following yesterday's Oireachtas Health Committee hearing, we'll be chatting about overcrowding in hospitals. That's at 7:15 this morning.
Indeed, we're also getting up to speed on the latest motoring news. And have you noticed the old petrol prices? Are you going along the road going, oh, that's three cent more expensive than the one down the road?
I have someone who fills the car for me. And
the Yaris. You've got a person who comes around and fills the car.
One of my people. It's always full when I pick it up in the garage.
We're talking about that at 7:45. If you do that, if you're like, oh, that's cheaper, let us know. 0896 111 111.
Yeah, and plus champion jockey Nina Carberry is going to be here talking penning ponytails. Ponytails. Tales about ponies. Should be here at 8:15.
Deric, he is embracing spooky season. We have sent him all around the country. And he has to have a Halloween theme in the lead up to Halloween, and he is fulfilling his brief. He's at the pumpkin patch. Good morning, Deric.
Yeah, good morning, Muireann. Good morning, Ray. We're live down here in the Garden County this morning. It's a misty and quite a foggy start out there this morning. There's plenty of shallow fog on the road. Nice sunshine to start and plenty of rain feeding up from the south. But once again, not great news. Unfortunately, plenty of localised spot flooding out there this Wednesday. Now, as you mentioned, Muireann, we've been on our Halloween trail right across the weekend. This morning we've landed down here at the Cleespan family farm. So coming up later on this morning, we're off pumpkin picking with donkeys. Yeah, you heard me right. And we made an effort style-wise. Take a look. Muireann, you'll appreciate this. Halloween chic. Do you like it?
Are they leopard prints?
They are leopard print.
They are leopard. Oh,
well spotted.
Leopard print is a basic, Deric. Well done. Loving the work. We'll talk to you in just a little while.
Cheers, man. Talk to you. I didn't bring my leopard print. I just wear the regular shoes.
I can find something.
Had I known it was Dress Up Wednesday,
I can find something for him.
Made an effort.
I'll do it.
That's all still to come this morning. Stay with us.
You need to be chilled to handle Irish weather. That's why Chill sponsor weather updates on Virgin Media 1.
Thank you, Ger, and a very good morning. We're live down here in Rathrum in County Wicklow. Now, coming up later on this morning, we're off to visit the Cleespan family farm because we're off pumpkin picking with all the clan. That's all to come in and around 9:45, so towards the back end of the show. So do hang with us for that. Now, we're on to the 25th of the month. Let's pull back the curtains on your Wednesday morning. And I have to say, it is quite a misty, quite a foggy start out there this morning. Plenty of it through parts of the Midlands in across western and southern regions, so do take care if you are driving. But elsewhere, it is holding pretty steady, pretty decent. No showers out there at the moment now in those light to locally moderate southeasterly winds. Now, across today, those winds will freshen across southern and western coasts. And out there today, we're going to see some nice sunshine to start. But then down through the south, we will see that cloud and rain bills. So as we edge our way into this evening, we will see some heavy rain pull into parts of Munster, and that will track northwards into the back end of the day, with once again that ongoing risk of localised spot flooding and surface water. So once again, take care and exercise caution if you are out and about. Top temps around 10 to 14 degrees. So into tonight, we're going to see widespread showers across the island. In behind it, they will die off to clearer spells. So we will see a break tonight into early tomorrow morning. Not as cold as what we saw last night as well. Once again, some local mist and fog with values no lower than 5 to 9 degrees. So that's how it's shaping up here in Rathrum and County Wicklow at the moment. We'll be back again at 7:35.
You need to be chilled to handle Irish weather. That's why Chill sponsor weather updates on Virgin Media 1.
Now it's time to take a look at this morning's newspapers. We'll start with the Irish Independent and its headline, Gardaí link drug ship cash to Kinahan's Dubai stronghold. Gardaí investigating the seizure of more than 2 tonnes of cocaine from a cargo ship off the coast of Cork have identified payments linked to the criminal enterprise.
The Mirror goes with Grinder killer had next victim lined up. Murderer Yusuf Palani was planning his 3rd killing when Gardaí pounced on him. He was suspected to be in contact with another man and attempting to meet him before his arrest on April the 13th, 2022.
The Star also leads with serial killer had a 4th victim picked.
The Sun's front page, my hell in spider's web of Hamas tunnels. An 85-year-old woman Hamas held hostage who was freed yesterday told of her hell in the terror group spider's web of underground tunnels.
The Herald leads with a love-hate minder in 79k drug bust. A production security guard was a character in his own love-hate, it says, after he got involved in transporting over €79,000 of cannabis. Christopher Nugent was jailed yesterday after pleading guilty.
Bitter row in Cabinet over being blindsided on refugees is the top story on the Daily Mail. A blistering Cabinet row erupted yesterday over a proposal by Integration Minister Roderick O'Gorman to make Ukrainian refugees pay for their own accommodation after being here for 90 days.
And the Examiner leads with Cabinet clash over Ukraine housing, the same story there.
And the Irish Times similarly goes with Cabinet row over refugee housing curbs. Ireland is among the only countries in Europe not to have changed its accommodation offering to refugees fleeing war in Ukraine. The Cabinet was told during the heated row between ministers yesterday. Now, coming up on the show, this was also in an Oireachtas committee yesterday, the HSE announcing a deficit already in the budget for 2024, and we just had the budget. We're discussing the funding of our healthcare system, and we would love to hear from you if you have been in hospital recently or if you work within the HSE. 0896 111 111.
Yeah, we'll see you right after this. Stick around.
Welcome back. Now, yesterday, the Oireachtas Health Committee met to examine the funding of our healthcare system, with the HSE's CEO, Bernard Gloucester, describing the health funding budget in 2024 as inadequate. We're
joined now by Rachel Murray, who spent over 24 hours on a hospital trolley recently. Rachel McNamara is the chair of the NCHD Committee for the Irish Medical Organisation. And Fianna Fáil TD John Lahart joins us in studio as well. You're all very welcome. We'll begin with you, Rachel Murray. You were recently in hospital. Sorry to hear that. And you've made a point of saying it's not the staff's issue. It wasn't the staff on the ground that were the cause of the problem. Can you tell us about your experience while you were in hospital?
Yeah, no, the staff, I have to say, absolutely fantastic. Like, couldn't meet better people from the minute that the ambulance got me from the house. I was brought into resus, again, fantastic. Like, staff couldn't do more for me. I have severe chronic asthma, so I'm quite frequently in A&E, and I've just noticed over the years, like, things have just deteriorated. When I went in, it was a Saturday evening time, so I actually was on a trolley then until Tuesday, and then I was discharged Tuesday because there was no beds. I shouldn't have been discharged, but it's just the reality of it in there at the minute with overcrowding. They don't have space. So I was in a room on my own in resus, but when I stabilised Sunday evening, they put me out into a corridor, and that's all well and good, but like, you're going into hospital to get better, and you have 6 patients behind you then on trolleys. You have the general public walking past you to go for x-rays or go for MRI or going in to visit someone, and like, it's not the staff's fault. Like, you could see how overworked, overrun and tired that they are, that it's just constant for them.
Rachel, as you've said, you have severe, it's bronchial asthma that has you in hospital about 4 to 5 times a year, and this isn't a new condition. You've had it for a very long time. And thank God you've always gotten better. But as you just said there, you've seen a complete deterioration. Of course, our population has gotten bigger in the last few years, I get that. But what is the sort of deterioration that you've seen from when you used to go into an ED to what's happening now?
I mean, normally when I went in, it kind of would have been when they got you stabilised, maybe 10 hours, like, would have been the most time when I was younger, and even in my early 20s, that I would have to wait before I was brought up on a ward. Whereas this time around, it's just literally a lotto. You don't know what you're going to get. When I went in, like, I was told 3 or 4 different times by staff, and again, it's not their fault, we hope to have a bed for you, we hope to have a bed for you, and that's not the case. And it's like a war zone, and that's no lie. There's beds everywhere on corridors, and it's just something I didn't see that growing up, going into hospital. Okay, maybe the odd time there might be a patient on a corridor waiting, but now it's more frequent and there's more bodies on hallways.
They're just out in the corridor, yeah. You're not even able to sleep. Yeah, it must be
Oh no,
very
you
distressing.
can't because like they have to leave the corridor lights on because the staff are obviously doing patient checks as well along that corridor. And I was beside pediatrics where they would be, I suppose, checking children. So, you're going to have children crying, which is natural. And I didn't sleep from the Thursday because I was very unwell.
Yeah.
And then when I went in Saturday, so I had no sleep from Thursday until Tuesday. So not a great experience.
Very, very distressing and a very upsetting experience. Dr. Rachel, let me come to you for a second. You're with the IMO and representing the regular doctors, not the consultants, but the doctors that you'll see in the course of your visit to the hospital. There's been a recruitment freeze now put in place. How is that going to impact doctors working on the wards across the country?
Yeah, so first of all, I'd like to thank Rachel for coming out and speaking about it. So her experience, unfortunately, even though it's appalling, it's not unique. There's nearly 600 people waking up on trolleys yesterday morning across the country. There was over 10,000 patients on trolleys at some point in the month of September. And people shouldn't have to put up with it. And I suppose I'm representing junior doctors, but the real term is actually non-consultant hospital doctors because it encompasses everyone from the point that you graduate from med school right up to the point that you become a consultant. So they're the doctors that you meet when you first come through the doors of A&E. They're the ones who would be generally manning the wards at night, doing up your prescriptions, doing up your investigations, led by the consultants. And last Friday week, the 13th, a recruitment freeze has been put in place for doctors for NCHDs. And that means that even though we are already working above what is legally and what's safely acknowledged to be the limit that anyone should work, we're now going to be expected to be doing more. So the doctors that Rachel saw, and we're looking after Rachel over the weekend, could well be at the end of a 24-hour shift, a 48-hour shift. And with this recruitment freeze in place, that's only going to get worse.
And sorry, Rachel, what sort of hours are you talking about you're working now? Is it 70 to 80 and you'll be expected to do more?
Exactly. There's in certain specialties, I was speaking to a friend of mine yesterday who had just come off a 72-hour shift. That was 72 hours in a row. And to be the patient that's seen at the very end of that shift, it's not safe. It's not safe for patients. No. It's not safe for doctors. And with this recruitment freeze now, doctors going off sick, doctors who are burnt out and are having to take extended leave, we're unclear as to whether they're going to be replaced. So it'll be less people on the floor to look after patients and to move them through the hospital system and out of the A&E departments.
John, that's kind of harrowing to hear there. I don't know how anyone can analytically think after 72 hours and you're going in there as a sick person. This recruitment freeze that has been put in place in relation to the HSE is a budget, a 22 billion euro budget that we have for the HSE in Ireland, and it's not enough. Where's the money going?
Yeah, and let's be clear, I can only quote the Chief Executive, Bernard Gloucester of the HSE yesterday in his evidence to the Oireachtas Committee. I'm on the Oireachtas Committee, that it's not a freeze, that it's a pause for a number of reasons. One, because the HSE exceeded the amount of staff that it could employ in the year, so it exceeded its budget. And the second thing is to wait and see exactly what the Department of Public Expenditure is going to agree to give them in terms of a supplementary budget. But you're right.
When it comes to staff, when they're going, there's a pause on here.
Yeah.
They are supplementing it with agency staff who cost more. So the jobs are there. It seems like it's a very inefficient way to spend the money because agency staff are brought in.
Yeah, and in fact, Bernard Gloucester, the last time he was before the Oireachtas Health Committee, said that the agency staff was a piece that he was really tackling and had addressed since he became CEO of the HSE. But the context, notwithstanding all that awful, harrowing stuff that your two guests, the two Rachels, have just said, is you are right. There's been a record investment in the health service. I mean, an absolute record investment. It's almost doubled in 8 years. the context now is there's also rapid, unprecedented growth in demand. There was clearly a pent-up demand as a result of COVID. So while the system, for example, 178,000 additional patients were actually treated last year compared with 2022, but there's more coming into the system. So how do you deal with that? Robert Watt, the Director or Secretary General of the department, has said, look, you know, the budget is going to, or the demands are going to increase in health by 3-4% every year. The budget just can't increase exponentially. We're going to have to look for a supplementary budget in order to carry them through this year and for next year. But there are other things that they're looking at in terms of, you know, improved pathways of care, that not everybody needs to go to hospital. There's these see and treat clinics would be one example. There are some hospitals as well, Muireann, that are actually performing better than other hospitals. And Robert Watt described this as a kind of a part of the puzzle where you have huge investment. Some hospitals actually have really good and positive flow-throughs of patients. We say Louth Hospital, my own hospital, Tala Hospital here, in relation to cutting some waiting lists, are doing really well. And then there are other hospitals which get equal investment.
And it's getting more. I mean, a team went in to look at Limerick.
Yeah.
And it had the highest record of people on trolleys ever 2 days ago. And that team is now going into the northwest because there's record overcrowding there. Yeah. None of this is new, and we don't seem to be able to do anything about it. And those people that they're treating is because we've got less GPs, they're all leaving the country, so we've got bigger waiting lists, so people are just going to the A&E rather than just going to their primary care.
No, and I take your point about GPs, but in the last 6 or 7 years, you know, we have, there's 1,000 additional beds in the system. There's 2,500 additional GPs in the system. There's almost 7,500 additional nurses in the system. You know, Robert Watt spoke about things like, you know, efficiencies, value for money, the stuff that we thought, you know, we didn't like to hear of. But there are issues where, whether it's leadership in some hospitals perform better than other hospitals. And we, you know, that's one of the things they're looking at in terms of what's the data around that. And data can be very valuable in relation to this. Does it help people who are sitting in it? And I've been on hospital trolley in a corridor too, so, you know, I can empathise with it. But the context is massive investment, pent-up demand that's there, but there are more positive outcomes in relation to some treatments. And as I said, close to 200,000 additional patients went through the HSE system last
It's
year
interesting,
compared
though,
to the
with
year
so
before.
many more staff, why are there so much overcrowding? We would love to hear from you today in relation to the HSE, because we know the people who work within the HSE work incredibly hard. 0896 111 111. Thank you so much. Rachel Murray, thank you so much. Who was a patient who was in a trolley in a hospital in the West just there over the weekend. Dr. Rachel McNamara, who was speaking to us for the junior doctors today, we really do appreciate it, and we hope that you get something resolved soon. And John Lahar TD and Fianna Fáil TD and Oireachtas Health Committee member, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
You need to be chilled to handle Irish weather. That's why Chill sponsor weather updates in Virgin Media One.
Thank you, Ger. We're live here down in Rathdrum in Wicklow at the moment. We'll give you a quick update on the weather. Certainly is quite a misty, quite a foggy start out there this morning. Quite shallow in places as well, so if you are driving, take extra care. But it is wholly mainly dry and settled with some nice sunshine now on your breakfast menu in that light to locally moderate southeasterly airflow. Across today, those winds will pick up pace. They will be locally strong across western and southern coasts. Sunshine will slip, and then that rain and cloud building to parts of the south and around the southwest, where we will see heavy rain once again with that risk of flooding out there today. Top values 10 to 14. Then into tonight, as that system of rain tracks northwards across the country, in behind it, it will dry out. Once again, some local mist and fog underneath clear skies, with values on the up there with overnight lows back to 5 to 9 degrees. So that's how it's shaping up here in Rathdrum and Wicklow at the moment. We'll be back again live at 8.
You need to be chilled to handle Irish weather. That's why Chill sponsor weather updates in Virgin Media One.
Welcome back. Now, yesterday's cabinet meeting regarding the housing of refugees has been described as the most decisive, heated discussion.
Divisive.
Divisive. Sorry.
They still haven't made a decision. It's
So
cabinet.
they actually still haven't made a decision.
No, they haven't.
That have taken place at government level since the coalition formed.
Joining us for that story and everything that's in the papers this morning, Jack Horgan-Jones from the Irish Times joins us. Jack, politics.
Politics. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yes.
Decisive.
So actually, yeah, the opposite of decisive. There was no decision made yesterday, as you say, but there was a division. The root cause of all this is the big public policy problem that we've been familiar with for over a year now, which is accommodating the tens of thousands of people who have come to this country and other countries across Europe seeking protection from the war in Ukraine. There are now more than 70,000 people under the Temporary Protection Directive, which is the piece of EU legislation that gives them the right to live and work and travel within the European Union. There are more than 70,000 people accommodated by the Irish state here, and behind the scenes, civil servants and officials have been trying to figure out basically how do you move from an emergency-based approach, whereby all these people are kind of bunged into hotels, into something more sustainable and long-term. And they have come up with a proposal to basically start trimming the entitlements, trimming the rights of people to accommodation when they come here. So it wouldn't affect people who are already here, but it would mean that those who come here in the future under the Temporary Protection Directive would be housed only in state-supported accommodation for a certain period of time, about 90 days. And after that, they would be asked effectively to go and find themselves somewhere to live in the private rental sector. Now, me, you and everyone in the country knows that, you know, you have to be extremely lucky to find somewhere in the private rental sector, and if you are that lucky, it's extremely expensive. So, I mean, what is underlying this is obviously trying to kind of lessen the attractiveness of the Irish offering and therefore reduce the flow of people into the country, because as a policy problem, they feel, certainly in the Department of Integration and the Department of Taoiseach, where the officials have been working on this, and Roderick O'Gorman, the Minister for Integration, feels they've run out of road on this.
Okay, so there's an awful lot of people have gone to other EU countries.
Yeah.
You know, the millions of Ukrainians have gone all over the EU. So what's this big argument? Because there was a real argument.
There was, yes. So this is the real problem here is, I think, a political one, right? But let's park that for the minute and talk about the reasons that were proffered at Cabinet yesterday. Taoiseach Micheál Martin pushed back strongly against suggestions that there should be reforms. He raised concerns about the education of children who come here and then they'll be moved on after 90 days, go elsewhere. He raised concerns, I think, and we're getting to the core of the problem here, about the fact that this would shift it from being a Department of Integration problem to a problem that affects the wider housing crisis, because as these people exit, they may not exit to homelessness services because they don't actually have entitlements there, but they would become part of the broader pressures on the housing system. And then if you drill down into the politics of this, that becomes more squarely a problem for Fianna Fáil and for Dara Bryan, the housing minister. So I think what we're looking at here is a kind of quite coldly calculated view of the world where, you know, you're trying to prevent it becoming just straightforwardly a housing problem. Now, there is a suggestion that, you know, some form of reform in the accommodation sector will come through in line with welfare, but the point is that, like, it ran into a brick wall yesterday at Cabinet. There was a big row, and now you have this very uneasy stalemate. You know, everyone acknowledges that it's not susustainable and some kind of reform has to be put in place, but there's no political consensus at Cabinet.
Yeah, and it's not decisive. They haven't decided. They have yet to make a decision.
Quite the opposite,
Three-party leaders are going to be discussing it further. Well, they have already been discussing it, but no decision been made. Speaking of the housing crisis, new home prices surged by 11%.
Yeah, this is a really interesting one where you see, I think, this kind of divergence in the property market, where you have new home prices, and particularly new home prices, or home prices outside of Dublin, going in a very much upward trajectory, right? So you have, on overall and national level, new home prices going up by 11%. But then if you look at the Dublin property market, you have the rate of increase is significantly lower. In fact, it's falling, down 1.9% in the year, whereas nationally house prices are up 3.1%.
But the argument there could be like that houses in Dublin had gone to such an insane level that you're like, who is buying these houses? Because I don't know who's making this much money.
There's just a limit on affordability, and that the interest rate increases and everything are just limiting the amount that people can borrow. And that's probably what's happening in Dublin. So rather than the situation kind of necessarily getting better or more affordable in Dublin, you're seeing the Dublin problem spread out to the rest of the country and things getting less affordable there. What's interesting as well is the division is really sharp, as you said, within new homes and second-hand homes. Second-hand homes seem to be cooling off significantly around the country, whereas new homes, as we said, is up by 11%. I mean, that's fairly substantial. Yeah, 55 grand outside of Dublin, 58 grand inside of Dublin in a year. I mean, that's like that's a significant salary every single year. that it's going up, right? So what's happening here is, I think that
What is that?
Well,
that's just not plain demand if it's cooling for second-hand homes. There's something else going on.
Well, I think that part of the problem is that you have two government schemes that are demand-side schemes, Help to Buy and First Home, which are available. They give subsidies to people who are buying a new home, a newly built home. And the idea is you incentivise activity in the market and you make it easier for people to buy their first home. And people do like these, and the government really like them. They think they're a great idea, but they are also inflationary. So you do see that inflationary effect playing out through that part of the market, that new homes part.
The jets, we're just about out of time. I really wanted to do the dogs, the jet-setting dogs. This is a private jet company for your pets. It means you can skip booking an extra seat for your dog on the Ryanair. Yeah, and the mutt doesn't have to fly in the hold or go in the It's remarkable, though. I mean, like the companies say that they offset the carbon emissions, but I think the politics of this are kind of... there's been pushback on it.
So there's a jet to bring your dog from America to Ireland.
Or vice versa, so 8,000 per seat, And there's a good quote from environmentalist John Gibbons, who called it the kind of insanity that precedes the collapse of civilizations as end-stage capitalism enters its palliative stage.
Brilliant.
Jets for dogs and no one can afford houses. It's a wonderful world. 0896 111 111 to get in contact. Jack Horgan-Jones from the Irish Times. Thank you so much for joining us.
See you again.
We'll be back with you just after the break. Talk to you in a minute. Decisive.
You're very welcome back. We're getting revved up on the week's motoring news and a Toyota Yaris with a facelift.
Joining us now is motoring editor with the Sunday Independent. It is Geraldine Herbert. Hello.
Good morning.
This is...
Chilly.
Sorry, what's this?
OK, this is a Yaris, but not like a Yaris you would recognise. So this is a Yaris Cross. It has grown and it has got chunky styling and it looks like it's ready to go off-road, but it's not really.
It's very big, It's like one of those... you know, the Sportages or the Qashqais or the Jeep sort of vibe. The SUV, It's really big, isn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely bigger in all dimensions than the Yaris, but actually in terms of what's on the road at the moment, it's actually quite a compact size and it's actually noticeably fitted in here quite easily.
It is,
and we've squeezed a lot of cars into this space, so I can usually tell in terms of size. So it's...
I drive an actual 2003
real
Yaris, and it's about a third the size of this thing. This is a beast by comparison.
Are there any similarities with the old Yarises that we all remembered?
Yeah, I mean, they still sell the Yaris, and it's essentially, as I said, they have taken the Yaris and just given it that different styling. So for people who like to be slightly higher up on the road, that chunky styling, that's what this is appealing to.
Yeah.
What is this starting at?
OK, 30,000, just roughly around that. This is the top of the range. It's the GR Sport trim, so it's got loads of little nice details inside and sporty touches outside.
In there.
So this is 36.
This one's because it's got all the extras.
Oh, it's very high.
What? Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, it's more kind of what would you say? SUV-ish. SUV-ish. That's the word.
I don't want to say because
Jeep is a brand.
I know. It is, but everybody in Ireland uses it as a kind of generic term for an SUV.
Right. Okay. So, what family would this be in terms of comparisons to other cars?
Okay, if you think of the Renault Captur, the Peugeot 2008, the Kia Kona.
Oh wow.
The Hyundai Kona, the Kia Niro. It competes in that sort of segment. So really popular segment in Ireland.
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's actually really nice. I was quite surprised. Now, I've only had it since Monday, but I actually like the size of it. You can fit two, decent-sized people in the back of it. As a family car goes, I think it's a good size and I think it's a lot to offer, so...
Cars are never going to get smaller, are they? Like, we're all meant to be getting more efficient. Now, I understand if I had a child, I'd probably want to buy a tank. To be fair,
to fit everything in, you do need...
But not even just that, just to protect them. Like, I'm sure that I would go for safety and all that kind of stuff.
A lot of the reason why cars have got bigger is safety, because there's much more requirements, very strict requirements now by the Euro NCAP, and you just have to have all this safety equipment. So it means cars have grown bigger. They've also grown bigger because we've got bigger. We expect more from our cars as well. Yeah. So it's kind of a combination of both.
What if you're doing, what kind of, is this a commuter, this is a round town car, are you doing long journeys, or what are you?
No, I'd say do both. Now, it's a 1.5 litre petrol engine hybrid, but it has good fuel economy. Okay. So, I mean, it'll do for both, definitely.
Well, now, talking of fuel economy, I'm walking around going, I'm not getting petrol there today, I'm not getting petrol there today. Is it sneaking up again?
Yeah, fuel prices have been on the way up. The trend has been upwards since about May. Now, they stabilised last month, so we're kind of looking at the same prices, even though there was a carbon tax increase last week.
Yes.
They're kind of hovering. I checked pumps.ie this morning and it's sort of 184-ish for petrol around the country. Now, that said, it varies considerably. Yeah. So they're very volatile at the moment because it's all about the euro's strength against the dollar. Also, we have restricted supply. The Saudis and the Russians are not supplying to the extent that they could. So when there's a supply issue and demand goes up. But at the moment, they're fairly stable. It's always really hard to predict where.
So we're saying in the paper this morning, it was the price of a barrel of crude oil was at $70, and there's predictions that it could be going above 100 in the next couple of months.
And that was always the warning sign. Once it went to 100, we were almost in recession. It was a real.
Yeah.
Now, I suppose it means less these days because 100 means, you know, everything is, we're getting less for our money. But that said, yeah, I mean, it's not. It's probably more likely they're going to go up than they're going to come down or stay static. So
no one's going to want that news.
But we know excise didn't go up. Remember, that's not being reinstated till April and August of next year. So at least we'll get through the winter without having to worry about that.
Yeah, okay, there is something about that, but it wasn't the 60s. It was mad. Listen, there was a thing said by Michael Healy-Rae that we should be teaching driving
in schools.
In schools. What do you make of that?
I think that's just exactly what we need, are more young drivers on the road. No, I think what we need to be teaching kids in school is to be road users, because we can't assume they'll all be drivers. They could be pedestrians, they could be cyclists, they could be all sorts. So I think there's a very good project that was launched by the Garda last week, Project Lifesaver, and it's about, you know, it's a 2-hour presentation for secondary school kids and third level about personal experiences of road fatalities, families. It's putting really a face to those stats more than anything. And I think those sort of initiatives are really good for young people because they're really impressionable and they need to know how vulnerable they are on the roads and also the responsibility they have when they're behind the wheel. So I think that's the kind of thing we should be looking at. The idea of teaching everybody to drive, though, no. I'm sorry.
No, we don't have the money for that. That's not it.
But it does make sense. Common sense, teaching people common sense and how to use the roads and how the roads work. Geraldine Herbert, motoring editor for the Sunday Independent. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much. I thought he was going to read your number out there. He had his number.
087. Still to come this morning, former Emmerdale star Kelvin Fletcher, a.k.a. Andy Sugden, is going to be checking in with us.
Plus, Cheltenham champion Carberry will be here too. Giddy up.
Giddy up. Yeehaw.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of that. Talk to you in a minute. Hello, welcome back to Ireland Day, and we have got everything from farming family fun to the latest viral videos coming up on the rest of the show.
That's something to look forward to.
Would you stop it? We get to play a game in a while about clapping. You're going to love it.
I love clapping.
You love it.
There's nothing I love more than a good clap.
Yeah. You're mad for this as well. Mad for the horses.
GG's giddy up jockey turned jiver. Nina Carberry is going to be telling us about her latest adventures in and out of the saddle. That's at 8:15 this morning.
First time we ever went to a bookies, we went together. You remember that?
I've no recollection.
Oh, right,
I don't remember yesterday.
It was a big moment in my life, and now he can't remember it. Anyway, former Emmerdale star Kelvin Fletcher, a.k.a. Andy Sugden, tells us why he swapped scripts for tractor grips. That's coming up at 9:20 this morning.
And from the 90s school photo you always wanted to marshmallow sing songs.
Yeah.
We're testing TikTok trends this morning. We're going to be trying some of them as well.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
At 9:35.
Yeah, the lovely Eric Roberts is going to be here. We've got a Halloween treat in the kitchen this morning. Catherine Fulvio, good morning.
Good morning. I have these gorgeous monster cupcakes. Okay, that's my best voice that I can do. What do you think?
That was terrifying.
That was, oh my God, I'm looking at you in a completely different way. So we're going to learn how to make
the trick and the treat.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's delicious. Catherine, we're looking forward to it. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Deric is picking the perfect pumpkin in County Wicklow this morning as well. Hello, sir. How's your pumpkin picking going?
Yes, Ray, welcome down here to Rathrum, County Wicklow.
Yeah.
We have got all the gang here from Old Queevy Neva. We're having lots of fun here this morning in the Garden County. Nessa, what are we up to later on?
So we're all going to go pick our perfect pumpkin, and the kids can take a wheelbarrow or a donkey, and then off they set into the pumpkin patch, and then after that we're heading off to the spooky trail.
All right, sounds lots of fun. Are you excited, guys?
Yeah!
For me and all the gang. Woo! Back to studio. We'll catch you later on.
They're having way more fun than we are.
Yeah, you need to wave your hands a bit more. Come on.
Have you ever carved a pumpkin?
No.
Have you ever carved a donkey? It's going to be a good morning.
Oh, okay.
Stay with us.
We've got all that coming up for you. We'd love to hear from you on anything as well. 0896 111 111.
You need to be chilled to handle Irish weather. That's why Chill sponsor weather updates on Virgin Media One.
Thank you very much, Ger. We're live down here in Rathrum in Wicklow. Coming up into the next hour, we're heading off on the spooky trail as well as pumpkin picking with all the Cleesman family and all the gang from the local school here in Glendalough. So that's all to come right across the morning. Now we're coming up to around 8 minutes past 8 at the moment, and plenty of morning mist and shallow fog out there as we speak. So if you are driving, you're heading out and about in the school run, please do take extra care because it is quite thick and dense in some places. Elsewhere, holding mainly dry and settled with bright spells pulling through as the morning goes on. Now, into this afternoon, that southeasterly airflow in the driving seat will be stronger, especially through southern and western regions. Elsewhere, that cloud cover then will build into the southwest towards the back end of the afternoon into early evening, which means rain is on the way, heavy at times once again with a flood risk out there this Wednesday. So into tonight, it looks like a wet one as there continued localised spot flood risk for areas as that system of rain pushes up across the country. Already waterlogged ground, pretty saturated from all that rain we've been having over the last 10 days or so. In behind it, where it does clear out, once again some local mist and fog to take us through tonight into tomorrow morning with overnight lows there no lower than 4 to 9 degrees. So that's how it's shaping up here in Rathrum in County Wicklow at the moment. We'll be back again live at 8:35.
You need to be chilled to handle Irish weather. That's why Chill sponsor weather updates on Virgin Media One.
It's time now to take a look at your Wednesday morning newspapers, and we start with the Irish Independent. Its headline is Gardaí link drug ship cash to Kinahan's Dubai stronghold. I beg your pardon. Gardaí investigating the seizure of more than 2 tons of cocaine from a cargo ship off the coast of Cork have identified payments linked to the criminal enterprise.
The Mirror goes with Grindr killer had next victim lined up. Murderer Yusuf Palani was planning his 3rd killing when Gardaí pounced on him. He was suspected to be in contact with another man and attempting to meet him before his arrest on April the 13th of 2022.
The Star also leads with serial killer had a 4th victim picked.
The Sun's front page, My Hell in Spider's Web of Hamas tunnels. An 85-year-old woman who was a hostage of Hamas, she was freed yesterday, told of her hell in the terror group's Spider's Web of underground tunnels.
The Herald leads with Love-Hate Minder. In 79k drug bust, a production security guard was a character in his own love-hate after he got involved in transporting over €79,000 worth of cannabis. Christopher Nugent was jailed yesterday after pleading guilty.
Bit of row in Cabinet over being blindsided on refugees. That's the top story on the Daily Mail this morning. A blistering Cabinet row erupted yesterday over a proposal by Integration Minister Roderick O'Gorman to make Ukrainian refugees pay for their own accommodation after being here for 90 days.
And the Examiner has Cabinet clash over Ukraine housing, that story as well.
The Irish Times similarly leads with Cabinet row over refugee housing curbs. Ireland is among the only countries in Europe not to have changed its accommodation offering to refugees fleeing war in Ukraine. The Cabinet was told during the heated row between ministers.
What's that text number again, Muireann O'Connell?
0896 111 111.
We were talking earlier on about the HSE, funding for the HSE, the hiring freeze for doctors and staff across the HSE, which is going forward at the moment. And I suppose Bernard Gloucester, the head of the HSE's testimony in front of the Health Committee, the Oireachtas Health Committee yesterday, and asking for experiences in hospitals and emergency departments around the country. I remember I was in an emergency department, was it 10, 11 years ago? When I had the kidney stones. I was in for 2 days, and it similarly. Now, in fairness, I'm young and vigorous, clearly, but I was in because I wasn't well, and I was sitting on a chair. But the upsetting thing about it was there were dozens of people. It was in the emergency department. There were dozens of people, elderly people, frail people, who were put in similar situations, it was in chairs, in corridors. Waiting to be given a bed, waiting to be tended to.
But did you get to keep the stone?
And like that, the stone came out, but I still have them. It wasn't an easy birth, just put it that way.
No, can't imagine.
But the texts from people all over the country similarly. Anonymous said, last year I spent 2 days with 2 herniated discs in the A&E. No X-ray or scan, but sent home with a painkiller and a phone number. Over a year later, I'm still in their system for a pain injection. 2 days.
There are 800,000 people in this country on some form of waiting list.
Yeah,
just waiting for
and it's only
anything
worse
here.
since
That's it.
COVID.
Grace says, my 84-year-old mother had tightness in her chest, went to her doctor, he gave us a letter to be admitted and looked after straight away. My mother and I were left on chairs in a corridor from Monday at 12 p.m. Throughout the day, we were slowly kind of seen to in drips and drabs. My mother was never offered a bed at any stage, never offered a cup of tea until 7:30 that night. She was discharged at 2:30 a.m. on Tuesday morning. It was an incredibly bad experience. 84 years old.
Yeah, 84. And I suppose that's why people then are reluctant to go to A&Es, because they hear these horror stories, particularly older people.
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't want to be stuck in a chair, I don't want to be stuck in a trolley. And like we said, and like we heard from Rachel, who was telling us about her experience earlier on as well, it's not the staff's fault. It's a wider issue. And our waiting lists are only getting longer and our population are only getting older and sicker. Any more of those? What's the text number again?
089 611 111. Any of your experiences, we'd love to hear from you, because we've got some here from people who work within the HSE as well, and we'll hopefully get to them in just a little while.
That's coming up. Champion jockey Nina Carberry will be joining us after the break.
Talk to you very shortly.
Our next guest's athletic prowess has seen her lift Cheltenham trophies and Dancing with the Stars glitter balls.
Indeed, but now she's swapping stables for fables with her debut book. Please welcome Nina Carberry. Good morning, how are you?
Hello, good to see you.
Right, thank
Nina was like galloping into studio there a while ago. She was like, the M50, the M50.
Yeah.
You're flustered.
Traffic at this hour, you're lucky to get
Are
it on
you
time.
okay?
I'm here now.
We're like, you would have been better off with the horse going down the
I
road.
definitely would have. I definitely would have.
Would have been fine. How are you? It's lovely to see you.
Thanks, Miriam. Yeah, all good.
Well, we start off with the new, because everywhere I look these days, Nina Carberry is doing 75 different things. Author,
Yeah.
Ride to the Rescue.
Yeah.
What a great name.
Yeah, I'm delighted, absolutely delighted to get it finally out there.
How long have you been working on it?
Probably about a year and a bit, yeah.
Acres, right, yeah, a good bit goes into it.
Yeah, it takes a lot.
It's
yeah.
lovely. It's really sweet. Can you give us a little taste of what it's about?
Yeah, it's basically about two 10-year-olds, a girl, Grace, and a boy, Aaron. And they basically share their love of ponies, and they're lucky enough that Grace's granddad has like a livery stable yard, and they basically go every weekend and they go off and explore and adventures and solve mysteries. So yeah, it's kind of inspired from my own childhood of having those days of my brothers and going out and competing with them and going out and just having the adventures and races and
And solving mysteries.
Yes, solve a mystery. To have to put a mystery in there. My girls wouldn't have been happy unless it was a mystery.
That's what you did when you were kids as well.
Yeah,
obviously.
in my head, yes.
There was true crime going on that we didn't understand.
Is it a murder mystery? No.
No.
Right,
no,
okay.
yeah.
Well, it's coming up to Halloween, though, do you know?
No, unfortunately not.
Who are the ones that are polluting the river?
Yes, we don't know, but that's what we have to find out.
Oh, right, that's where the investigation's going.
That's it.
Yeah.
Great name. It's very like Enid Blyton and the Five Ride to the Rescue. It's a great name.
Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, so hopefully kids will like it and enjoy it.
Did you get the seal of approval from your kids? Did you have to let them read it?
They did. I read it to them. I have a 4- and 6-year-old, Rosie and Holly.
There they
are. Rosie wasn't too impressed with Aaron and Grace. They were in separate schools and they weren't going to be able to talk about their investigation during lunchtime. So she said, "Can you not put the schools together?" And I was like, "Didn't think about that one, Rosie." But you know yourself. But we were already gone, so I couldn't change it. So she'll be definitely editor for the next one.
Oh yeah, sure. Well, it's very important to be giving notes and to get the final sign off on all of it. In terms of putting the story together, when you were editing it and compiling the whole thing, were you running it by them piece by piece, or was it just kind of Mammy's working on this and I'll show you the finished product?
Yeah, like there was a few stories that I put past them and they quite liked it and they wanted a bit more. So my husband was a great help as well, putting everything by him, and that's kind of come together that way.
Keeping the peace at home, going everyone else did it, but you had your own difficulties with reading when you were younger.
Yeah, I had got dyslexia, but listen, I got through it. But it's only kind of afterwards when I did a kind of a cert course kind of a couple of years ago that I realised that actually someone could write my
my exam, and I was like, why couldn't I done this for her leaving cert?
I know.
But like, I only realised after how easy it was for me when someone could write for me.
So this is if you're dyslexic, you can have someone, you have the option of like in the leaving or to have them write it for you. That's brilliant.
I wish I knew that back then, but I didn't.
But you must be so proud. You must be so proud to have.
Yes, so proud.
Like it's really amazing. It is called Ride to the Rescue by Nina Carberry. The first. I love the way you're like the next book. Is this a series?
Yeah. So we have 3. So the next one's all about pony camp. So we're in the middle of that at the minute. So yeah.
There you
Class. Well, yeah, it's only just it's but one string to your bow. You're no doubt going to enjoy success with this. You're accustomed to winning, and in your regular line of work, you're accustomed to winning as well. And of course, we mentioned the glitter ball as well.
Yes.
Are you still cha-cha-chaing around the place?
I wish. I wish. I would love to, but to be honest, I'm just quite busy and it's hard, and I don't have Pasquale to dance with. So, yeah, it'd be.
All right, that's your excuse.
It wouldn't be the same.
I don't have a pro dancer.
Because I suppose there's a whole new. I know someone that was walking past dance studios in Dublin recently, and they were watching. They were like, "Oh, they're all in there getting ready for the new one."
This year, I've noticed. The papers are on to wherever you do, I think, wherever you do or did your rehearsals, because there's so many more leaks this year, whereas it was locked up tight. I saw a few, like in the last kind of couple of weeks, of like, really this person's definitely doing it, that person's definitely doing it. Is it? Would they be practicing now? I suppose they would, end of October.
December. Starts in December.
Right. And how did you feel about that kind of, it being secret and under wraps and I have to take off every single day?
I was delighted. I didn't have to come to reality until...
It was so nice.
Yeah. Until, I suppose, January hits and you have to do your first show and you're...
You actually go and do it.
Well, you didn't turn you off it because obviously you went on, you're doing more TV. Now, this is one of the shows that I absolutely adore because it's one of those things. It's like when you watch gymnastics, you're like, oh, they didn't land that somersault. And I'm watching Ireland's Fittest Families going... I just don't think that they can get low enough to the ground. And I couldn't do it.
Sitting at home munching on a bag of tape.
Sitting at home on a Sunday, just kind of going. One of the coaches, one of the new coaches this year. How's that going?
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, obviously it's all finished now, and it starts this weekend on Sunday, and yeah, really looking forward to watching the first episode of it. But really enjoyed being a part of it again.
Are they very competitive, the other judges, or is it all for show?
Like, it's not for show.
You're all just accustomed to winning. I mean, you're all in your various sporting fields. You're all winners.
Yeah, like there's no bit of, you don't get any inch with them. And Sonia Sullivan took part this year as well, so it was brilliant to get to know her.
And the reports are like you had a great time with Sonia. You were giving her backers on bikes.
I know. If only we had known, we should have taken a picture. Yeah, Sonia was mad to see Samuel back at Bridge, and we were on the docks filming, and we had a break for about an hour, and we said we'd go up and we get the 2 bikes, and we only rented one, and I said I'll cycle up.
Keeping costs down. That's RTE now. Cost cutting. Yeah, should have done it on Virgin.
She would have been on your back.
Yeah, we would have got 2 bikes. I know, in fairness, we would have driven you. What's so special about this Samuel Beckett Bridge? What is it?
It was meant to open. I didn't realise.
Oh, really?
This bridge opens, and Sonia was like, "No, we have to go and see this bridge. It's opening." And we didn't get to see it open because we had to be back.
Right, okay.
Be back at the docks, see it hanging tough. So.
I just love that you're like, "I'll do it," and Sonia with her massively long legs just
exactly.
You're like, "Let's go."
Run it.
But you've done the kind of you competed in this before under Davy Fitz, so you actually know what it's like.
Yeah,
like you've done the hang tough and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's brilliant to have kind of been a part of it and kind of know what the families have been through or are going through. So you can kind of give them a little bit of advice as much as you can, but it's all about them trying to get as much out of them as
so you're not as fake as Davy and Donncha, like who've never done anything.
No, exactly.
Is that what you're saying?
Chancers.
Yes. Chancers.
Who was it you would have been like most concerned about beating, you would have most wanted to beat of the other coaches?
I suppose I want to beat them all, but like Davy, I love beating Davy. I absolutely get a thrill out of beating Davy.
It gets emotional, isn't it?
So you beat Davy?
No, you don't know. You can't tell me. You can't tell me.
Who wins? It's already recorded.
Can't tell.
Right.
When it comes to everything that's kind of going on, do you keep a foot in with the old horse racing and everything that's going on in that world? You must do. Like your family's embedded in it.
Yeah, like I buy and sell horses. That's basically what I do, and keep that going as well. And there's a new thing coming out with HRI and Equip. They're getting into the jockey coaching, so I've signed up to that, and we get assigned our jockeys this week. So So hopefully...
it's like Dancing with the Stars. You don't
So open to get a good...
No, yeah, exactly. So I'm looking forward to working with them.
Imagine going for a trot out and you arrive up and Nina Carberry's there. You'd be like, oh, this is very serious.
No
I'm not
pressure.
too sure about this.
I wanted to mention as well, is it Nuno Alexandra Vieira? Is it?
Yeah, brilliant.
The illustrations are absolutely gorgeous in the book. It's worth having just flicking through. That's on the front, but they're throughout.
And the little dog Rocky has him to a T as well. He was very good.
It's lovely.
Multi-hyphenate Nina Carberry now. What is it that you can't wait until we see what you're going to do next? A pleasure having you. Congratulations on the new book. Best of luck with it.
Nina, thanks a million.
Cheers. Thanks very much.
Thanks. Right, coming up, Catherine Fulvio is going to be cooking up a storm in the kitchen, a Halloween treat.
That's a pile of books by Catherine as well, isn't there?
Oh, sure. We've
She's going to knock one out there as well, no doubt.
I can't even spell.
And our TikTok trendsetter, Eric Roberts, is keeping us down with the kids. We'll see you back here very shortly. We're playing a game like this.
You need to be chilled to handle Irish weather. That's why Chill sponsor weather updates on Virgin Media One.
Yes, Ger, we're live down here in Rathdrum in Wicklow. We'll give you a quick update here on the half hour, and it's quite a misty, quite a foggy start. In fact, that fog quite shallow in some regions as well. So if you're out and about on the roads, dip in and out your fog lights as you need them. Now, it'll certainly brighten up as the morning goes on. That'll help burn it off over the next hour or so in those light to locally moderate south-easterly winds. Into this afternoon then, those winds will be strengthening, stronger for a time across western and southern coast. Sunshine slipping, and guess what? It's a return to rain through southern parts out there today, pushing northwards over the coming hours into late evening with an ongoing risk of spot flooding, 10 to 14 in terms of those temps. And then into tonight, a lot of us once again getting a taster of the west of as that system of rain pushes northwards. Once again, spot flood risk, then clearing in behind it with some shallow mist and fog once again, patchy at times locally to take us through tonight into tomorrow morning with overnight lows there no lower than 4 to 7 degrees. So that's how it's shaping up here in Rathdrum in Wicklow at the moment. We'll be back again live at 9.
You need to be chilled to handle Irish weather. That's why Chill sponsor weather updates on Virgin Media One.
Hello.
Oh, I'm on. We're on. Oh, we're on. We're on.
Welcome back to Ireland Day, and we're Catherine Fulvio is here. Pay your full attention.
You were chatting about glitter balls. So I was like, well, I don't watch that. I don't watch glitter balls at all.
We went on to Bake Off, though.
I was gone. Oh,
you definitely tuned out when we started on Bake Off.
Catherine watches Bake Off, which I love. We are doing something Halloweeny today. What are we doing, Catherine?
We're doing these gorgeous monster cupcakes. I wanted to keep it really simple, really straightforward, because I think it's something that you can do with the kids. You know, nothing too complicated that every age can do. And they look pretty cool as well.
They look
class.
Yeah. Anything with googly eyes on it, a kid's going to love.
A great item for your Halloween party.
Yes.
But not necessarily, you won't be handing them out of the doors because they get messy in the trick-or-treat bag.
They'll be eaten, you see. They won't make it there.
Yeah.
They won't make it there.
So how do we
start
start
in
off?
Here I have already creamed butter and sugar, caster sugar. So that's important. You got to kind of wake that up and loosen it and lighten it.
Yep.
And now I've just put in 2 eggs. So off we go. I'm just going to make a little noise here and just...
I love you're using a hand whisk. A lot of people put in that we've got the big yolk.
Oh, the big mixer, yeah.
I have a hand whisk. I love it.
The only way. The only way. Now, I'll speed this along a little bit so it's not too much noise for you. So then, the next thing then is, so these are chocolate and orange cupcakes, because chocolate and orange, marriage made in heaven.
Beautiful.
So you need your dark cocoa powder.
Lovely.
You know, you can go with the lighter one if you want for the kids. And then I'm just going with plain flour. You can use oat flour if you wanted to. And then I have in here a little bit of baking powder.
Lovely.
And we need some freshly squeezed orange juice. And... yeah, you can build this up as you want. You know, little drop of vanilla. Vanilla always goes down really well, I think, in something like a cupcake.
Yeah.
And then all we need to do then is just a little grating of orange. Just to kind of like, I just love orange and chocolate together. I think it's one of those magical combinations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I was doing this now for the adults, I'd have orange jello in there or a little bit of Grand Marnier.
Oh, look at her go.
She wakes up now.
Very posh, so she is. That's
so
nice.
Now then you just fold all this together. So it's lovely and straightforward. And if you find, just a little tip, if you find it's any way thick, you can just loosen it with a little bit of milk or water, because you don't want your cupcakes to be too dry.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes where it goes wrong, you know, where it's a little bit dense. So you see the way that's just a little bit dense?
Yeah.
So we've got a little bit of water here. We just pop that in like that.
So the only liquid you had in there already was the butter and a bit of the orange juice.
And the orange juice,
Right,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So that's it now. So then...
So we need licking the bowl consistency.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's it, right?
So then we have our cupcakes. So we've got our little orange cupcake holders. And actually, one of the things I noticed, a lot of the cupcake holders are getting smaller, which is nice, I
That's
think.
inflation.
They are very small.
They are. I couldn't get any bigger ones, but I actually like them like that because I just think they're perfect for kids.
Back
Do you know
to
what it is?
queen
You know?
cakes.
Yeah.
It's that it's muffins. We've become muffinized.
Yeah,
Muffinized.
I agree with you.
Yeah, so you can get the muffin ones, which are bigger now, you see. Bigger again. So the cupcakes are smaller because the muffins are getting so
Whereas
big.
we're a queen cake family.
So the tip
Nice
with
and
this...
small.
The tip with this is 2 spoons. So you just... And what I always do is I just fill... Oh, goodness. I fill all the cupcakes first, and then I go back and top them up. Because I see in my cookery school a lot, when we do these kind of things, we do it for kids, they might fill maybe 6 of them and they'd be really full.
Yeah,
And then there'd be nothing left for the last 6, you know? So I just a little tip, 2 spoons, 1 to lever off, like that, and then you can go back and you can fill. So I've made some earlier, so I can come back to that because I
can
want
pass
to
over
show
the
you
bowl
butter.
there, yeah.
I was just about to say, go on.
Just
give
bring
us
it
the
over,
bowl.
keep it busy.
The smell is beautiful.
It smells gorgeous.
Isn't it lovely with the chocolate and the orange?
And you could leave the
Yeah.
chocolate out if you wanted to just go orange. Would that work?
Yes, absolutely. Of course you could.
Okay.
Of course you could.
Stop it now.
Makeup will go nuts. And
Oh my God.
Do you like it?
Oh, that's so good. Oh, make these. Please make these.
So now,
Oh my God, that is so good.
what's this now? With the
the
paper
next
plate?
thing. The next thing is my little tip, because you know it's just Myrne you were saying about using the
The mixer.
Big, massive mixer
yeah,
yolks.
the mixer. So wait, let me see now. So she's getting caught up
It
here.
worked earlier on.
Yeah. There we go. It's just my hands are a little slippy now. There we go.
To stop the splashing like you might
Yes.
get. Yeah.
Yeah, it just stops the splashing. So let's just wipe the hands
look
now.
at you.
So now, it's just if not everybody has the big mixers at home, and I thought I'd show what I do when I've got the smaller mixer. So you just pop it on like that with the paper plate. And especially, again, if you're
job.
baking with the kids.
Yeah.
So this is our sugar,
such a
icing
good
sugar
idea.
for this one now.
Okay.
So in this goes, so I already sifted that. So it's a lot of icing sugar that goes in.
Yeah.
In there we go.
This is where we're making
Yeah.
our gorgeous green stuff on
Yeah.
the top.
And then we need a little bit of the green food colouring.
Yeah. What's wrong with
Right.
I don't know.
Why are you looking at me?
Was I told to stop licking this?
Oh, no, you weren't. Were you?
All right, okay. Did you tell me to stop? Sorry. I didn't catch that. I was like, am I in trouble?
You can put in as much
'Cause I'm
green
not going
food
to
colouring as you want. And then all you do then is put your lid on like that and off you go and you whisk. You see?
That's...
Because the icing sugar shoots everywhere.
Because it's so much lighter, yeah.
Yeah.
We see it in Bake Off all the time, don't we, Catherine?
We do see it in Bake Off. Those of us that watch Bake Off,
That's
right?
it.
Yeah.
Do you see it in the
Pleasure
cooking
balls and
school when
bake-offs.
you're like, lads, you've got nothing on that
Oh,
now?
the clean-up operation is something else. So you give this a good whisk, right? And keep going. So,
Yeah.
do you want me to show you now how to pipe, or will I keep at this?
Go on, pipe away.
Pipe away.
We do a
Have you
bit of
got stuff
piping.
in the pipe in the...
I have
Oh, you
some,
do.
yeah,
Some you
I've
made
some I
earlier.
made earlier. So there
You're
we
keep
go.
on
So
going,
there's
whisk
few
all that
little
in.
steps.
You've done the food colouring.
Right, so your food colouring's in, so now you have your green icing, and now you have here your cupcakes. Okay.
They're a lovely size.
And here's your green icing. See, little tip, just put the green colouring in as you go. Do you know? Just a little bit, see what it's like, and then off you go again.
Because
now,
you don't chew darker colours.
what I want to say to you about making buttercream, cream the butter first, and then put the icing sugar in. Some people dump it all in together, but if you really give that butter a good spin with the mixer,
Yeah.
you're loosening the butter and lightening it, and it's much easier, so you won't have like grainy...
Gotcha.
Yeah. So now, here we go.
Watch the pro.
Here we go, and around she goes like this, you see? There
Oh my
we
God,
go.
delicious.
Right?
Look at that.
There
And
we
the-
go.
and The googly eyes.
Now,
We're just
so
about
I'm
running
going
out.
to give you one of them each to
Oh,
do.
here.
Go on,
There
Raymond.
you go.
Quickly.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to be over here doing the googly eyes.
What you do
Where
with
do you
the
get your googly eyes? You make
So
them
now-
yourself?
Oh, you make them.
Again, this is the Shuka rollout icing. You can't go too far wrong with all of this. So I've got my rollout icing, and just to make the circles, I literally just got the top end of the nozzle.
Yeah.
Like that. And
Cut
you
it
just
out.
cut it out. And then you can put black food colouring then in as well. And you can get your little pupils like that. And you give them a little...
And you
Bake Off, here
create-
we come.
I know, you
And
create
then
them very sweet.
you can get your little eyes on like that, you see? So, and the thing is, with the kids, they can do all sorts of little decorations.
Bases and
They can
things,
do the eyes crossways or cross-eyed or anything they wanted. They can even put a pair of glasses on.
Catherine
my God.
Fulvio,
So there
you've
we
outdone
go.
yourself once again. It's
Make
gorgeous.
these.
Can
They're
I get a cup of
so-
coffee as
There
well?
you go.
Catherine Fulvio.
Googly.
Come on. Delicious.
Thank you, darling.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Ha ha ha, or whatever we're doing. We'll be back with you in Ireland AM in just a minute. These are so good. Hello, welcome back to Ireland AM. I'm very excited about this. We're about to get tips on creating a winter weather makeup look. This is the thing, winter weather makeup look. Makeup artist Carl Hodson is here to add some heat and smoke to our beauty routine. Hello, Carl, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How are you?
It's lovely to have you here. And Emma, you're going to be our fabulous model today. And we're just going to lash loads of stuff on you. Is that okay? Fantastic. It's going to be great. So come here. It's the time of the smoky eye, Carl, isn't it?
It is indeed.
It is all about the smoky eye. So when it comes to choosing a smoky eye, people who have different skin tones, people who have blue eyes, hazel eyes, brown eyes, does it really matter what you pick?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that I always like to start out with eye colour as a base point. I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to makeup, so I always like to use colour theory concepts. So if we take Emma's beautiful eyes, you can see that they're hazel.
Yes.
So what I want to do is make those green tones really pop and sparkle. Now, if you think about colour theory, red and green are opposite colours, so they're complementary.
Is this the colour wheel?
It is indeed,
So
yeah.
if anyone wants to Google a colour wheel right now, you will see colour and you
Yes.
go opposite, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So the red tones will make green really, really pop and stand out because it contrasts. So I'm going to be creating a smoky eye that is built up with these rich reddish browns, which I think is a little bit more contemporary, it's a bit more modern, and it's easier to achieve than a traditional smoky eye that's black or dark brown.
Okay, lovely. Show us what you're going to do here.
All right, I will indeed. So I'm going to be applying this eyeshadow stick. So this is from Laura Mercier. It's our Caviar Stick eye colour in matte in the shade Brick. And these are so easy to apply. And I think that when people do smoky eyes, they're always a little bit scared just because they can go a little bit too heavy-handed. They can go with the wrong sort of colours.
There's a lot of panda going on.
Totally.
Sometimes it looks quite bad.
Exactly, but these are so easy to use because they're really creamy, but they're 24 hours long-lasting as well. So I've just applied that directly
also really direct where you're putting it.
Absolutely, and that's the beauty of them. So I'm a little bit... just look up for me a second, Mo. So sometimes I'm a little bit messy when I create makeup, and you can afford to not be too precise with these. So I'm just taking a little smudgy brush to move that colour around. And can you see that almost immediately you've got the base of a smoky eye? You can build it up as much as you want. So look down for me, Emma.
You know when I hear build it up?
Yes.
That just means keep on going over it.
Yeah.
Let's just keep on going to get whatever deep level that you want.
Exactly. Just keep adding fine layers. I find that with makeup, if you just add layer on layer on layer, but in really thin layers, you can build up to your desired effect rather than putting it on and then panicking and having to take it back off again.
Okay. That does seem very... Because I'm one of those people that there would just be eyeshadow a lot
everywhere.
Of the place. Whereas that... When you're doing something like that, I was looking at you using the brush.
Yes.
There's so many brushes on the market.
Yep.
Does it really matter, especially when it comes to eyes?
OK, so here's the thing. I think that it's such a makeup myth that you need 50 brushes to do one beautiful makeup. It's absolutely not true. I'd say you need about 5 or 6 makeup brushes in your brush bag and make it work for you. But don't forget, you've got 10 brushes at the end of your hands. And that's what I'm going to be doing just to finish off this eye makeup, just to show you how easy and simple it is. So I'm taking this eye palette. So it's the Laura Mercier Starlight Dreams eye palette, which is available exclusively at Brown Thomas and Arnott's. And I'm using my fingertip and I'm, again, taking this gorgeous coppery red tone and just using my fingertip to apply it all over Emma's lid. And you can see how simple it is. And immediately you're starting to get that gorgeous effect. Now, I'm just going to take this lighter colour here, just to brighten the inner corner of the eye. That's another one of my smoky eye tips. Go with a lighter colour here, and it just brings that light back and gives you just a bit of gorgeous luminescence.
And with using, I suppose, the oils on your fingertips, They're reacting quite well with the powder, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say always work with clean hands. And if you've been applying your foundation and your concealer with your fingertips, give your hands a wash first, just because you don't want to muddy everything up. But absolutely. And that cream eyeshadow stick that I used underneath, it'll grab onto the colour. So any sparkle, it'll just make it pop even more.
Gorgeous. Now, I know that you're going to give us a little bit of a trick for something that I cannot do. Is this the lash line?
It is indeed, yes.
Let's watch this. Let's actually watch the master and see this, because I'm useless.
So we could absolutely leave the eye as it is, but I just want to intensify it a little bit. As we're going into party season, sometimes you might want something that's a bit more dramatic. So I'm taking an eye pencil. So this is the, just look up for me, Emma, the Caviar Tightline eye pencil in the shade Cocoa. So again, it's that gorgeous, deep mahogany brown. And I'm taking it all the way in this inner rim of the eye, which is called the waterline.
Yeah.
And just catching it along those lower lashes. So that makes that lower lash line look a bit thicker. But I'm going to do one of my favourite makeup tips, which is to line that upper waterline. Now, to do this...
Oh, here we go, the tickly one.
Yes, this is the tickly one. But look at it, Emma's a good model, so she manages to do this without blinking, so fingers crossed.
You're unbelievable, by the way. Well done to you. OK, let's go.
So I'm just going to apply just a little bit of pressure. Just look down for me, Emma. And where we can see that inner rim exposed, I'm applying the product, and this instantly makes the lash line look that bit thicker. Now, you've noticed I've not used a traditional black for this, and I'm going to take it across the top as well. Black is fine. Black sort of serves a purpose, but I do love these rich reds because they do work on everyone.
Beautiful.
And if you've got brown eyes, they look super harmonious. And if you've got blue eyes, again, they're going to provide a bit of contrast.
So it does kind of work with all of the colour tones?
Yeah, absolutely. Just look up for me. And I'm just going to smudge that in just because I don't really want to see any harsh lines. And that's the beauty of a smoky eye. I think it should just be that it's super diffused and blended. Look up for me again, Emma.
Can I ask you now, because I was Mrs. Waterline.
Yes.
When I was younger.
Yeah.
And now I've moved away from it because I'm going, oh, Jesus, I don't want to be doing that. What do you think?
Yes, absolutely.
You don't understand why people move away from it when they're older. Is that what they should be doing?
No, I don't think so. I really think that there's too many rules within makeup. And if you think about makeup, it's expression, it's creativity. Rules are there to be broken. There's too many rules. Just do what you think makes you look beautiful, because there's no set yes or no. But I would say absolutely wrapping around the waterline is a fantastic way to just make your lashes look thicker. And no matter what age you are, everyone wants thicker lashes, right?
Underneath is good. If you can get it, so tickly. Let's talk blush.
Yes.
Blush placement and what we should be using.
Absolutely. So I don't know about you, but I know that we're approaching winter, and I love that, just smile for me, Emma. I love that really wintry glow that you get from when you've been out in the cold and you get that gorgeous pop of colour onto the cheeks with that bit of luminescence. So I would always say smile when you're applying blush.
Yeah.
And I love blush. I think that sometimes people they're afraid to go with too much, but I want to pop Emma's cheeks out by applying this beautiful powder. So this is from the Bare Minerals Glow Giver Holiday Blush Duo. And as you can see, we've automatically got loads of colour straight away.
God, it's beautiful. I just went for it.
Yeah, you know what? Don't be afraid. Makeup comes off quicker than it goes on, and I think that's what people do.
And a bit of highlighter.
Exactly. So just to get that wintry glow, I'm going to take the Bare Minerals highlighting blush in the shade Peach Glow. And application for this, just smile for me again, Emma. So with a large brush, just sweep it right up. And again, use your fingertips just to blend anything.
Get it all on.
Exactly.
And I'm afraid we're just running out of time, but a bit of lip, you're all about the lip gloss.
Absolutely. So a nude lip is always a good thing to finish off your makeup. So book some Plump Shot Lip Collagen Infused Lip Gloss directly onto the lips just to complement the eyes.
Beautiful.
And there we go. All finished.
Emma, I can see why you need to go out straight away. Go to the airport, there's a bar open there, no doubt. And of course, Carl, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate having you. I'm going to try the old eyes thing. We'll be back with you on Ireland AM in just a few minutes. welcome back. We have got trendy TikToks. We love a trendy TikTok. And Muddy Mayhem coming up at this hour on Ireland AM.
Emmerdale's finest, Kelvin Fletcher and his wife Liz are going to be joining us to chat farming, family fun and famous faces.
Indeed. And our TikTok trend setter tester, Eric Roberts. He's here this morning. Good morning, Eric.
I am indeed. I'm just working on a spooky painting and I'll be able to show you all that later on.
I love how you've got the beret on.
I go full character in here, man, okay?
Is that how Jamie Dornan wears his beret? You've got new friends, Eric.
I do. I'm going to hot yoga with Beyonce next weekend, so I'm very excited about that there.
Did you bump into Jamie Dornan on the beach?
I did indeed, yeah, we were sea swimming.
You were not just swimming, you were sea swimming.
We were sea swimming. Well, I wasn't swimming, and I had to put on my cozy mac immediately because he's in great physical condition, and I was just got very self-conscious. But yeah, we're good friends, good friends.
I feel really bad. He's hanging out with Jamie Dornan, and now he's going to hang out with us.
Yeah,
I'm really sorry to bring you down to earth this way, Eric.
It's okay, guys.
It's
okay. He's not even looking at us directly in the eye anymore. He's like, I don't want to look at them. That's not good.
Here with us. Well, check out what he's been working on over there as well in a few minutes. And Deric's having an especially eerie morning in Wicklow. How's it going for you in Wicklow this morning, Deric? How are you getting on?
Yes, good morning, team. We're live down here at the Cleesman family farm. Rathdrum in County Wicklow is where we're at this morning. And guys, look who we found. Two little donkeys. Who have we got here, John?
Oh, yeah, we have Ringo, he's 11, and Stelios is 7. And the two of them help us at Halloween to carry all the pumpkins.
And it's a busy time of year for you, isn't it?
It certainly is. And the kids love coming down and seeing all the donkeys. We have 10 all together, and we rotate them around. And as you see in the buckets, they carry all the pumpkins back up for the kids.
All right, so we'll have more here from Rathdrum in County Wicklow right across the morning. But guys, look, take a look at this. Oh, isn't he so cute, isn't he? That's Celius. Good morning. Very cute.
I love the donkey.
Look at that pair of donkeys on screen.
That's... Hee-haw.
You need to be chilled to handle Irish weather. That's why Chill sponsor weather updates in Virgin Media One.
Yes, there's some beautiful morning mist down here in the Garden County, broadcasting live from the Cleesman family farm here in Rathdrum in County Wicklow. And coming up later on this hour, we're going to be pumpkin picking with all the family and with all the donkeys as well. So that's all to come live here at 9:45. So hang with us for that. Now, finally, we've been waiting for it for a while, but the sunshine is out, helping to burn off that morning mist and fog. Still quite shallow in some regions, so if you are on the roads, exercise caution, dip in and out of your fog clouds as you need them. But a pretty decent start out there this morning now, and there's light to locally moderate southeasterly winds. Now, into this afternoon, in fact, those winds picking up pace. They will be strong at times, especially across western and southern coasts. Enjoy the morning sunshine because it will slip. And guess what? A return to rain down south later on into early evening. Heavy at times once again because the ground's already quite saturated, pretty waterlogged. That ongoing risk of flooding out there today. Top values of 10 to 14. So into tonight, that system of showers pushing its way northwards across the island, where it does clear out. Once again, some patchy mist and some local fog to take us through tonight into tomorrow morning. But temperatures are on the up. Not as cold as what we saw last night, with values there at 5 to 9 degrees. So that's how it's shaping up here down in Rathdrum in County Wicklow at the moment. We'll be back again live at 9:35.
You need to be chilled to handle Irish weather. That's why Chill sponsor weather updates in Virgin Media One.
Hello, welcome back. Now, earlier on, it was about 7:15. We were discussing the Health Committee yesterday, where they're just discussing the budget for the HSE, which is running at 22 billion in the country, and they were only getting 800 million on top of that. And Bernard Gloucester, the CEO of the HSE, only 800 million, has said that that is inadequate and that they need more money. We were talking to a junior doctor about the freeze on hiring new staff. They're already working about 80 hours a week. And we were also talking to someone else, Rachel, who was on a trolley the other night in a hospital.
Yeah, and loads of texts this morning from people's experiences in particularly in A&Es or presenting to hospital and then ending up on a trolley in the corridor, not being able to sleep with the lights on. And the credit to the staff. In almost every case, people are texting saying, all credit to the staff. They're doing the very best they can, but they just can't cope with these conditions. Pauline texted, it's actually a positive story. She says, hi folks, I have stage 4 breast cancer. I'm sorry to hear that, Pauline. That has metastasized into my bones. So in effect, I have breast and bone cancer. 4 times in the last 9 months, I've had to present to A&E, and each time I've received the best of care and attention from the doctors, nurses and healthcare assistants in the HSE. They are unbelievably busy and stretched, but still find time to be kind and caring to me. And I think across the board, that is what people would say, that when you do see someone or someone does see you or is able to make the time for you, these people that are stretched and overworked. And in a lot of cases, there's agency staff being brought in as well. That's one of the concerns that have been flagged, that a lot of the spend is going on agency staff. They don't want that to be the case. And they want to free up the money for staff that are permanent or full-time, that are on the wards.
And Pauline, we hope you're doing okay. That's a lot to be dealing with. Sue says, I work in an extremely busy A&E department. Overcrowding and no beds in hospital wards means the very sick and elderly are sitting on chairs with no trolleys available. Also a huge shortage of staff. It causes such stress for the staff that are doing their very best. It is absolutely soul-destroying looking at this.
It must be very hard going home at the end of a long shift and thinking I couldn't do everything I wanted to do, and my hands are effectively tied by the situation.
Back and seeing the same people maybe sitting or on trolleys that you had
very
left.
disheartening, very upsetting. Philomena says, well, there's loads of the Philomena. My father was on a trolley in hospital 13 years ago for 24 hours. I remember thinking he worked all of his life paying his taxes and the lack of care was dreadful. Nothing has changed, unfortunately. And that's, Philomena, what we were saying 13 years ago. And there's this ongoing thing as well of, well, what is it now? It's only the end of October that there's always been this sort of media focus on flu season. Flu season's coming. The trolley numbers are going to go up, but we're not even into flu season yet. It's not January, February now. We're 2 months out from Christmas, and we're already having these discussions.
Breaking records in Limerick.
Very, very
upsetting. On there. And Michelle just says, they say that if you can't drive, if you're too tired, you should pull over and rest. Meeting a doctor on a 72-hour shift is madness. That is actually life or death. I don't know how we expect you and your doctors to function. 72 hours.
Any further texts? It's 08, blah, blah, blah.
We probably won't have time now.
All right, okay.
Because we've got a busy old hour coming up. After the break, Emmerdale's Kelvin Fletcher, Andy Sugden.
He has blossomed. He looks fantastic.
He's going to be talking navigating the peaks and troughs of farm life.
We'll see you after this.
Welcome back. And now, one of our next guests played farmer Andy Sugden on Emmerdale for 20 years. 20 years.
And he's only 18.
He's a child, but now he and his wonderful wife Liz are embracing country living for real, and they're running their own farm.
Here to discuss filming their farming venture, it's Kelvin and Liz Fletcher. But before we speak to you guys, hi guys, but before we speak to them, let's take a very quick look at them in action on the farm.
Welcome to Fletcher's family farm. If you've got 4 kids, lambing 50 sheep is it. Bring it on.
Now you're going for it.
We have little piggies.
Look how cute they are.
Your first wellies.
First time catching a goat. Any tips? Just go for it, mate. Just go for it, mate, yeah? Bloody hell, they're fast. Hey.
Kelvin looks so happy, even when all this muck is just landing on top of his head. He's living the dream.
It's mad, isn't it? I own a sheep. I don't own one, I own a shed full here. 3 years ago, I didn't even have a dog.
Kelvin and Liz, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Do you know, they put the music in the background and, you know, the jaunty tunes and the quick editing. It's bliss. You're living, it's a blissful life you're living.
That was a nice filter they had on that little sync there. As you can imagine, with 4 feral kids, you know, we've only been on this farm now for just over 2 years, so we're very much... it's a new way of life for us, and we're learning every day. So as you can imagine, there's ups and there's downs, and there's a real sense of chaos. But what you see with a TV show is kind of what you see is what you get. It's our genuine take on how we're kind of trying to live off the land and what it's like to run a little farm.
And we have to talk more about that, but I really do. You look like teenagers there with one of you each sharing a headphone and being like, oh my God, that's our Celine Dion song. Oh, this is what we're gonna play at the wedding. Have a listen. Like, first, look at you. You don't hate each other anyway, so that's good with 4 small kids and a farm to run.
Oh, there's one of the
kids there making an appearance.
Oh, hello.
We can birth a lamb, but we cannot do technology.
Well, it's working. I didn't realise. I just, of course, it's the Emmerdale connection. I would have thought, oh, you'd be well accustomed to being on a farm, Kelvin. You've mucked in, mucked out, and done whatever work is necessary. I didn't realise you were amateurs.
It's like he was lying to us, doing his acting job.
Acting is lying.
That's kind of. I see there's an obvious connection there, but I myself kind of didn't really see the connection. Yes, I played a fictional farmer for 20 years, and then the kids, and then obviously we
looked like she was walking down the stairs with guns.
Hi,
hi, guys.
Say hi, Milo. Just Spider-Man in the background.
Peter Parker's in the background. Peter Parker, he's gone to swing off into the kitchen.
It's been crazy, but if I'm honest, there's been no transferable skills because playing a fictional farmer in a serial drama, the storylines were so often about anything but farming. So suddenly we're on our own farm, and we've had to kind of throw ourselves into the deep end and just kind of wing it at times. And farmers always used to tell us it's a way of life because, obviously Ireland's a huge farming community. There's a lot of adversity, we're going through a real transition at the minute in agriculture. And we're only smallholders, we're not a big commercial endeavour by any stretch. But what we do is absolutely love it. We love being outside, working hard. I think farming for me gives a real sense of, it's a great upbringing for children. You understand empathy, working hard, adversity, all the kind of characteristics you need to know in life. I think you kind of find on a farm. So we've loved the journey thus far, and hopefully the TV show has captured that.
And look, we're seeing everything that's going on there and how you are all mucking in. Of course, Liz, your gorgeous children there, but you married an actor. You had nice nights out in Manchester. We'd see you in the tabloids and stuff. And next thing, your fella comes to you and goes, how are you, love? Do you feel like moving into a big farmhouse and running a big farm? How did that go down?
Well, before that, we were supposed to be moving to California. So I was sold the dream of, bikinis and the beach in LA. And that all got stopped because of the pandemic. And this is where we ended up. And you know what? It's the move that has just turned into one of the best things we ever did. I couldn't ever imagine life without this. We are absolutely exhausted with all the kids, and honestly, it's like fitting 3 full-time jobs into the day. But we really do wake up with a spring in our step, and just being outdoors, at one with nature, and just learning about a subject that there's so much to learn about, and it's given us an amazing sense of purpose for the whole family. And I'm so happy this is the move that we made.
That's a really lovely to hear, because you do hear about it being a tough business to be in, that you're spinning so many plates at the same time. You're the CEO of a business. At the same time, you're up early, you're going to bed late, and you've got a lot of things to worry about. We saw the lambs. What type of farming are you involved in, or are you working on?
Mainly livestock, but previous to this farm over the years has grown a bit of crop, grown some potatoes and whatnot. But currently we're just running livestock. So we've got sheep, all native breeds. We've got sheep. We've got some pigs, we've got livery yard here, and we're hopefully maybe potentially starting a beef herd as well. So good old-fashioned livestock, and as you can see there, some of our North Country mules. We'll be tupping in the next couple of weeks. So we're pre-tupping at the minute. We're make sure all our ewes are up to scratch. And then probably the first.
You have to explain what tupping is. They might not know.
We're completely ignorant here.
these Irish folk know what tupping is.
We're all farmers over
We're
here.
never more than 5 minutes away from a farm. We're grand.
Exactly.
We know what it is. But Liz, there's one thing. A whole new life. As you said, you were meant to be going to Blooming, California. Kelvin's off the back of winning Strictly, all that kind of stuff. Then you bring cameras in. You're doing a reality TV show, Fletcher's Family Farm. So how have you found that?
Yeah, it's a bit different. Like being an actor and then doing an observational documentary does feel different. We're used to be given a script and told what to do and what to wear. So yeah, it was, we did have to think about it, consider it, the kids being involved as well. But the team was so small and they've just been incredible, and they just became part of the family. And it's funny, we were just saying how when they've gone, we really miss them. We want them back. So yeah, it's just turned into be an amazing experience for them and us. We've absolutely loved creating, and as creatives, it's what we do best. So it's been an amazing filming period so far.
I'm not sure they would have concluded the same, the production crew, because when they do a whole host of different TV shows and they rock up with us. I think the first day we filmed, we were filming the pig insemination day from episode 1. We'd never done that before. We'd never met them before. So, and then I
the pigs
four
or the
feral
production
kids.
crew.
It was a crazy day. So if you was to ask the camera crew and the producers, what's it been like filming with the Fletchers? I'd love to know their honest opinion.
It's true, actually. The exec turned up and the kids were clinging to his legs, so I'm not quite sure what we think. Maybe I should rephrase that answer.
You're missing the extra childcare and the kind of the piglet care and everything like that. But there's a big thing happening. I suppose over here we do have kind of farming shows, but they're like Jeremy Clarkson. Are you like competing
the WhatsApp group, yeah.
with Jeremy Clarkson? Yeah, do you have the WhatsApp group going? How are you getting on down in the farm?
It's funny actually. I've spoken to Caleb a couple of times. I remember when I was tedding this year, when it was harvesting, and he gave me a little message saying, "Oh, you need to open your swath a little bit, mate." And I said, "Really?" And then he rang me up and gave me a few tips. It's funny, shows like that, obviously completely different. That is a huge commercial endeavour, over 1,000-acre estate. We're at mere, 120 acres. We're a little family farm, but I think we all represent an important parts of agriculture. And I'd like to think, as smallholders, we've got just a place within agriculture as the big boys like the Clarksons and maybe whoever else. But as a family, we've loved programmes with Kate Humble and there's various programmes certainly over here that celebrate rural life, get a real understanding of where your food comes from, what goes into making that food. And like anything, once you get an understanding of something, an appreciation follows. And we are merely just custodians of this little farm. And I want to learn as much as I can. And I'd love my kids, I sound like a proper farmer now, but I'd love my kids nothing more than to continue and try and continue our little farming journey, really. As new entrants, we've never done this before. We came in completely new and we can't really see a life without us doing it.
Yeah. Wow, after only a couple of years and you're using all the lingo.
You are. He doesn't have to learn about. He doesn't have to learn
so easy.
But he doesn't have to learn about EU subsidies. They're gone, so he doesn't have to apply for all of those.
You're not gone just yet. I think we've got another couple of years, another year, I think, and then they've gone.
And now it's the paperwork.
So is this money for public goods? I think
that's it.
Well, this is it. Of course, you're both actors. You've got acting backgrounds, but the farm project must take up so much of your time. Like we said, there's so many plates spinning all the time. Does that mean the acting has to take a back burner, or are you still able to, audition, or are you still pursuing that?
Absolutely, yeah. The acting probably pays the bills. We're finding that farming doesn't quite pay as much. No, right. I think it's all about chasing. I guess as we all want to chase that balance of life, and naturally you've got to provide, and we're doing any way we can to provide the lifestyle we want for the kids. Granted, it feels like a little bit more of a simpler life now, but we're still jobbing actors, and I was on a drama just recently. So acting for both of us is still very much the main focus, and we've just kind of when days we're not working or we're not on an acting shoot, then obviously we're playing at it on our farm. So we're serious about both aspects, and hopefully the two can continue.
It's great to see you both in the new Spider-Man movie. Marvel.
Our best job yet.
That's what you need. And real quick, Kelvin, can you pick a winner of this year's Strictly in case you're watching it? Is it going to be Angela Scanlon?
She is fantastic. I'm supporting Adam Thomas all the way. But it's crazy to think it was 3 or 4 years ago when I was last there. But great show, and it's just I'll be supporting with my family at home at the minute.
Well, now, we saw you telling the kids can all rush into you now as soon as you possibly can. Fletcher's Family Farm, it started at ITV on October 15th. It's on at 11:30am on ITV1. It has been a pleasure talking to you, Kelvin and Liz Fletcher. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you
all the best.
so much.
Bye,
Cheers.
bye.
And of course, see the kids, they were like, what's going on? And of course, Kelvin mightn't be on Emmerdale anymore, but if you want to tune in, of course, you can get the latest gossip from the Dales. Emmerdale is on every weeknight at 7:30, of course, on Virgin Media 1.
Yes, it is. Still to come, we track some top... this thing. Marshmallows, 1 marshmallows, 2 marshmallows. I was doing it last night, half the night, and I got killed for getting it wrong. TikTok trends coming up in a few minutes.
Talk to you then.
You need to be chilled to handle Irish weather. That's why Chill sponsor weather updates on Virgin Media 1.
Yes, thank you very much. There's some beautiful sunshine here this morning down in Rathrum, County Wicklow. We're talking all things pumpkins in a few moments' time. And don't forget, tomorrow morning we're live from the west because we're horse riding out in County Mayo. So that's all to come from the beautiful town of Westport tomorrow morning, Thursday from 7 a.m. Now, final look at weather. And a glorious start down here in the Garden County. And following that shaky start in terms of that mist and morning fog, beginning to brighten up now across the island in those light southeasterly breezes. Now, across the day, in fact, those winds will strengthen across western and southern coast. Elsewhere it is that mixture of sunshine and cloud. Down south though, more problems kicking in terms of that rain pushing up across Munster, and once again that ongoing risk of flooding out there today at 10 to 14. So into tonight we'll see that system rain slowly move its way northwards across the island. In behind is going to clear out for a time with some patchy mist. Once again a taster of local fog as well into tomorrow morning, with overnight lows there back to 5 to 9 degrees. So that's how we're shaping up for now. We're talking all things pumpkins here in Wicklow. 9:45. See you then.
You need to be chilled to handle Irish weather. That's why Chill sponsor weather updates on Virgin Media One.
Bonjour.
How are you doing?
How are you doing? There's a reason I'm wearing this. From AI aesthetics to cute Halloween crafts, we're taking a look at some of the latest and greatest TikTok trends.
It's gonna be great. Our expert internet explorer, Eric Roberts, is here to tell us more. Eric, you're very welcome. Good morning.
How are you getting on, guys?
Hello. Why am I wearing a beret?
It looks better on you than it did on me, I think.
Love a beret, love a beret. What are we doing?
We're painting some pictures. So this is a lovely trend on TikTok where people are going to thrift shops or charity shops and repurposing old paintings. And they're making Halloween decorations out of them. So we're taking old paintings and painting some ghosts and ghouls.
You know these paintings that we all have in our house?
Here's one I prepared earlier. I feel like
well
Bob
done
Ross.
you. Did you do this?
Yeah. So it's a fun trend. It's a sustainable trend where people can repurpose these paintings and make fun decorations. Because I feel like people just want to let their artistic side out. And they're using the Cramps, Goo Goo and the Muck as a song, and people are getting out and about, going to these charity shops and getting these paintings and putting their own twist on it and giving an old painting a new lease of life.
So it's just defacing a painting, Eric, is what you're saying?
Essentially, yes, but I tried to put it more poetically than that. Thank you.
But for Halloween?
For Halloween. So it's a Halloween decorative piece, and I feel like it's a fun way to decorate your house. And the kids can get involved, or you can let your own artistic side out, Ray.
And I think that these are fairly cheap in the shop, aren't they?
I would imagine so. I mean, thrift shops, charity shops, you can find these kind of paintings anywhere. The kind of stuff you would see in a really old hotel, but you can make it fun and make it your own.
I was saying to him earlier on, I'm not saying the word thrift. We're Irish. It's a charity shop.
Thrift.
Look at these people. They're doing it really well. I did not do it so well. You probably need to let the black paint dry.
Well, mine's fantastic.
Yours is
I'm extremely
lovely.
artistic. Full disclosure, I didn't actually do this myself.
You can do whatever you... Oh, mine is a Pac-Man, I'm being told. Is that a Pac-Man?
That is a Pac-Man,
That is a Pac-Man. Sorry, I thought it was a ghost.
Yeah, you didn't listen to the brief, Mern, but that's okay.
No, I'm not wrong.
Still looks great.
Ray, come
Ray's
on.
been very secretive with his.
It's because I've nothing done yet.
Yeah.
So a pile of people are just doing this on...
So lots of people are doing it. It's a seasonal trend, and these seem to be popping up more and more, where people are coming up with creative ways to decorate over the festive and scary periods. I'm not sure if I would
not
hang that
Would
one.
you put that?
This one, I would hang this one. This is fantastic.
Are you going to do that?
I'm very proud of this one. I'm going to take it home.
I'm not finished yet. I thought I'd have longer.
Okay.
I'm not going to...
I can't believe we waited this long for that, Ray. Thank you. Cheers. Thanks for that.
It's an alien Edward Munch, the Scream. Looks like it's got tentacles coming down. That's what's going on there.
Great.
Okay, we're going to move on to... We can get rid of all of these. We're going to move on to something else that we have been trying to sort this out all
Pass
morning.
them on down there, guys.
And this is the marshmallow game. What is this?
So this has gained millions upon millions of views with all the bigger creators online giving it a go. Now, I hate this trend. I absolutely despise it because I'm awful at it. I played it for a few hours yesterday and I can't get it down. And I would normally be quite... I would feel like I have a lot of rhythm, and the game needs that.
Will we take a look at the marshmallow game so we have an idea of what we're talking about?
One marshmallow. Check it out. Two marshmallows. Three marshmallows. Check it out. Check it out. Three marshmallows. Three marshmallows. Three marshmallows. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Four marshmallows. Four marshmallows. Four marshmallows. Four marshmallows. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Five marshmallows. Five marshmallows. Five marshmallows. Five marshmallows. Five marshmallows. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Check it out.
Now, you see what they're doing, right? So it's a number of marshmallows. Check it out. Woo, and that's one.
Yes.
Then
We're taking a go each. So I'm going to kick us off here and we'll start with one,
This
okay?
is the sort of stuff we all did when we were younger.
Three of us doing
There's
this.
Three of us doing it, yeah. We're
Okay.
off the deep end here, okay? Let's aim to get to 3.
Play along at
okay?
home.
Right, we ready? 1 marshmallow.
1 marshmallow.
Okay, are we ready? 1 marshmallow.
Check it out.
Whoa.
2 marshmallow.
2 marshmallow.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Whoa.
Woo! 3 marshmallow, go.
3 marshmallow.
3 marshmallow.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Woo!
Whoa.
Woo! We did it. We did it.
Too bad.
That
Is that
wasn't.
what the whole
That's
thing
the
is?
game.
Fast.
That's
I've
the game.
practiced that much slower, and even those lads there were really fast as well.
Yeah.
So we could be doing a lot slower. We
Like
could
a lot slower.
You need a lot of practice with it, okay?
like
The
that. So
faster
say
the
if we
better.
went, do one more for a second.
Okay.
That way.
1 marshmallow.
Woo. Check it out.
Whoa.
2 marshmallow.
2 marshmallow.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Woo.
Whoa.
Okay,
3 marshmallow,
right.
yeah.
That's the,
There you go.
That's the idea.
There you go.
And
It's
we
an
were-
awful game, and let's never play it again.
Well, we were talking about yesterday rejuvenile, like getting back to your younger self. You played that with loads with the kids last night, didn't you?
We were playing. Well, it's funny. Over dinner, my youngest said, "Oh, we were doing this game in school today. It's a marshmallow game." And then got the text saying, "You're doing it on the telly tomorrow morning." I was like, "Balls."
There we go.
I have to practice that
Me
now.
too, kids.
That's what they're going to do. Now, there's such a thing as maths. That's what we learn in school.
Yeah, that's what they used to do years ago in school, but now they do the marshmallow challenge.
Marshall challenge. They're not learning how to do maths anymore. Busy at maths is dead. Girl maths and boy maths.
Yeah, so this was the thing in the early 90s. If you read Cosmopolitan and stuff, girl math was very prevalent back then. So girl math is essentially, if you were to buy a designer purse and you justified with yourself that if every time you brought that purse out, you didn't buy a cup of coffee, that eventually it would even itself out and that purse would be free.
Absolutely.
Okay, so boy math is a little different. Boy math could be, you might not have time to clean the house, but you'll have time to play FIFA for 4 hours. Okay, or you might know all the statistics about an entire team of football players, but you don't know your child's teacher's name. Okay, so
we've got a video. Will we take a look?
Take a look.
$2.50 divided by 10, $25 a wear.
Yeah.
For 10 wears.
You'll wear it way more than 10 times.
So $5 a wear for 20 wears.
So cheap.
Yeah.
You're literally buying it from the dollar store. We cracked Gilbert.
That is so good.
We cracked Gilbert.
anything
Did you say 20 winters?
Choose 20 wears.
Oh, 20 wears.
So I think it's just a way for us to justify spending money on things we probably can't really afford.
Practically giving it away. There has been a backlash to this.
There has. I mean, people are saying that it's quite stereotypical and stuff. I think it's a bit of a laugh. I mean, if we can't laugh at ourselves, who can we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From a serious level, people are also saying it's just a way to encourage consumerism.
Absolutely.
Kind of going, it's fine, I can justify this. Because yesterday I tried on a dress and I was like, I can't justify it, but if anyone else likes it, and they were like, no, you can justify it. You'll wear it 10
Consumerism
times.
is perfectly fine. We'll be back after this quick break. Oh, actually, no, Eric is staying.
I panicked just then. I was like, no.
Okay.
But yeah, it's indiscriminate sexism. It goes in both directions.
It goes in both ways.
Because whatever, as bad as it is for the girls, it's just as bad for the boys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I saw you doing this the other day. Got some lovely pictures. Tell us about this trend.
AI trend. So this, for me and you, we were only children back then. Ray would have been in his early 20s.
Yeah.
So it's fun for us to do this, to see what we would have looked like in high school in the 90s. So it's a trend. It's an app called Epic, and you can go on and you can upload some images of yourself, and then AI, artificial intelligence, will basically make it look like you're in high school
In
the early
America.
90s. In America. And well, to be honest, I did this trend, and I'm not entirely sure if I would have liked to look like that in the early 90s. But it was interesting to say the least. But some huge...
Is there a bit of a Fabio-ness to you, do you think?
I think there was, yeah. A bit of, I don't know, I was in some sort of boy band. Hopefully not. I hope not.
We've got a Roy Keane one. This is Roy Keane as imagined in a high school yearbook. Is it in the 90s?
There we go.
Oh my God, that's
There we go.
brilliant.
He looks fantastic.
All credit to the cat.
He looks like he's a Napoleon Dynamite. Who's next?
Yeah,
then?
there we have, yeah. Like
There
some
you
sort
are.
of, it's just like a strange
You're
sort of
in
boy
Wham.
band. And Wham in the middle there, yeah. I've actually decided to grow my hair out after seeing that middle photo. So
Sorry, that's stunning.
thank you very much.
Do you have a leather jacket?
I'm going to get one.
Oh, you have
You can
to
get
do.
one in the second-hand shop. With the,
Oh, you can.
when I'm
not
in
even
buying the
joking.
painting.
Halloween is done. You just
yeah.
go full George Michael.
I'm
I
gonna
think
go full
I'm here.
George. Oh,
No.
gorgeous.
That's not
you?
me.
That is you.
Oh my God, it's
Lovely.
definitely on the right.
Lovely.
The one on the right.
Yeah.
That's definitely me. Yeah, I can see. That's what I look like for my confirmation, I think.
This is all AI generated.
This is all AI generated, which is quite frightening. There we. Oh wow!
Great.
Look at that.
That's a real one in the middle.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off over the far right there.
I can actually see you.
There's me as John Oliver.
Some people when I stood in the school. John Oliver.
That's a classic.
Who's next?
That's
We have
a classic
Tommy
there.
next. They're not here today, but we got to see what they look like.
Oh wow! Dreamboat.
Oh, of course,
There he
he's
is on the right.
the
That's a real
American
photograph on the
football
right.
player.
Dreamboat. He's all three characters in every high school movie ever, isn't
That's
he? There.
exactly what he is. What do we have for Alan?
Oh wow! Definitely,
They're just
definitely
all
doesn't look like he should be in high school. I'm not going to lie.
I was just about to say.
He looks more like a teacher.
Noel Edmonds or David Spade. I'm seeing in the middle there.
David Spade.
Saturday Night Live.
That's what he is. He's got Miami Vice going on there. There are AI photos,
yeah.
and people can go and do it themselves.
People can go and do that. The app is on Epic. Now, it's not free. It's for €3 to €6. But can you put a price on 90s nostalgia? I don't think so.
Well, €3 to €6.
€3 to €6.
Apparently you can. Yeah.
That's the price you can put on.
That's the price you can put on.
Eric Roberts, as always, a pleasure to have you
It's been
here.
an
Thank you
absolute
so
pleasure to be
much.
here, guys.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to get back to my painting.
He has to get back to his painting. Coming up next, something different. Deric, he has been getting into the spooky spirit all week, and he shall continue.
Getting down and dirty with the donkeys.
Oh,
as
that's
well.
very Halloween-y.
Yeah, donkeys. Stick
Donkeys
around.
is
Donkeys
Halloween.
after this.
Talk to you in a minute.
We're on now.
Hello.
Hi, welcome back. She's chatting to me. I'm like, we're on the telly. It's time to go over to Deric in Rathdrum in County Wicklow for some wholesome Halloween fun.
Indeed. Hocus pocus, my friend. What are you up to?
Yes, hocus pocus, guys. Welcome down here to beautiful Rathdrum in County Wicklow. Finally, a little bit of sunshine here in the glorious Garden County. We're joined now by all the gang from Skull Queeve Nefa down here in Glendalough, and also Nessa Clissman here from the family farm. And Nessa, this family farm is up and running since the 1960s.
Yeah,
I
my
believe.
parents started in '69, so it's a family farm. I have a little 3-year-old, so it's nearly third generation now, and we're in the gorgeous Wicklow countryside, not too far from Rathdrum and Glendalough.
And you're set on over almost 100 acres.
Yeah, it's 100 acres. We have a lot of horses and donkeys to feed, so we need all the space.
Now, speaking of the space, we absolutely loved our trip, and in fact, we've been really enjoying this morning, and the kids are loving it too.
Yeah, no, they're having great crack. We've all sorts of fun set up for them here. We've a spooky trail, we've a barn full of games, and then obviously with the pumpkin patch itself, so it's great crack.
Now, what I loved here this morning, one of my favourites, was the spooky trail. We were there earlier on this morning. It's great fun, and they love it, don't they?
Yeah, no, they do. There's all sorts set up. We make it all ourselves. There's witches' wagons, there's a rock band with skeletons, there's a disco with skeletons, and then we've a whole Day of the Dead. So it's super colourful and super interactive and fun.
And, you know, the kids can come out here, they can enjoy themselves, and also mum and dad can come along too.
Yeah, well, we've a few in the spooky trail. We've a few inside jokes for the mum and dad for a bit of crack, and then, to be honest, it's just a lovely day out in the countryside, real wholesome family day out.
And obviously, this is a family-run business too. You've got the caravans here too, and you can actually stay here as well.
Yeah, no. In
round.
summer we do glamping and stuff like that, and then we have a Santa event, and we kind of all year round there's something fun going on the farm. Yeah.
Now we're moving from the spooky trail, and we're moving over then to the other side of the farm, and we've got the gorgeous pumpkin patch here, and the kids with the wheelbarrows. This is what it's all about.
Yeah, well, so we've hundreds and hundreds of pumpkins, and they get to choose of all shapes and sizes, and try and choose the perfect pumpkin so they can get it at home now and then carve away and make.
And like, is there an art to picking the perfect pumpkin?
It's a hard one to say. I suppose it depends on how detailed you want to carve it. We've really big ones, some even so hard to carry for some of the littler kids, and then we've some cute little ones, and then we've the little tiny ones called munchkins. So you have a big choice.
And where do you get your pumpkins from then? Are you farmers yourselves?
We are farmers, but we're farmers more for the horses and the donkeys. So we have a lovely man in Wexford who provides us with the majority of the pumpkins.
And then the main attraction here, I suppose, and they've been with us over the last couple of hours, are the beautiful donkeys. They're just gorgeous. You not only have one, you not only have two, but in fact you've got 10.
We've actually got 10, yeah, no, exactly. Now we rotate them in the patch, so they're not all out at once, but they're the stars of the show, no question about it.
Yeah, and they're really placid, they're really timid, and they're great with the kids too.
Super, super easygoing, very, very well mannered, and they're smart, so they just like a bit of action. They get bored if there's nothing going on, so I think they enjoy it too.
And then once you wrap up here in the pumpkin patch, you can head back on inside and there's the barn and you can get some cocoa and you get some coffee and get toasty.
For this time of year, it can be a bit nippy, so it's lovely to retreat to the barn, nice hot drinks, nice treats, and then there's loads of games to keep the kids entertained as well.
Now, we've lots of kids, as you mentioned, here from the local school just down the road in Glendalough. Ria, what are you dressing up for Halloween?
This year I'm dressing up as a cheerleader.
As a cheerleader, shake your little pom-poms there. Hey! Are you looking forward to Halloween?
Yeah.
Good girl. And what about you, Martin?
Well, Deric, I'm dressing up as a cowboy this year.
Oh, you're dressing up as a cowboy. And where are you heading off to then?
Trick-or-treating.
You're heading off trick-or-treating. Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah.
And what about you, young man?
Well, Deric, I'm dressing up as a zombie footballer.
Now, you've kind of got the zombie vibe going on this morning, don't you?
Yeah.
So all you're short of is a football, really?
Yeah.
Who's your favourite footballer?
Messi.
Oh, Messi. You're a big Messi fan. And finally, we've got Ellie over here. Where's Ellie? Ellie, what are you dressing up for Halloween?
I'm dressing up as Deric, I'm dressing up as a cowgirl.
As a cowgirl. And you've got your lovely pink hat on there. Where are you going trick-or-treating then?
Lara.
You're going, Lara, just down the road here. You're going to look forward to it with all your pals.
Yeah.
Yeah, good girl. So there we have it. I mean, it's great fun here and they can come down and enjoy themselves for a couple of hours at least.
It's a fun build-up and, you know, the excitement building for Halloween to go off and pick your pumpkin, bring it home, and I think the kids get really excited for Halloween itself.
All right, where can we find out more online?
So we're online at clissmanhorsecaravans.com or all our social media, Instagram and Facebook. You find all the links.
All right, so there we have it from me and all the gang. Big cheer, guys! She got the orange memo as well. Look, we're all top to toe in orange. You'd love this now. Halloween style.
Thank you so much, Deric. Doesn't it look lovely?
It does, yeah. Looks like they're having great fun there.
It does look like they're
It's
having...
hour of the morning. It's too early to be having fun. You're not wearing orange. I was thinking none of us are wearing orange, the appropriate Halloween orangey colours.
It's only Wednesday.
We're fine. Yeah. We've got time. Yeah, we've got time.
Do you do the pumpkin carving?
We did it already. It was a school-based initiative where instead of homework one night, the children were given a pumpkin to carve.
Oh.
Now, how involved do you think the children were?
Did you get a bit competitive?
And it was a competition then.
Did you get competitive?
Yeah. So then the next morning, all of the dads lined up with the pumpkins, looking at all the other children's pumpkins to see how they did. We didn't win either. It's this school business. It's just I'm putting them out of school. I'm going to put them to work on a farm. I mean, as we just saw, it's much more crack. And much more wholesome.
Would you ever think about doing the traditional turnip carving?
No, and I don't know how people do that because it looks really hard.
It does look incredibly
hard. Cutting a turnip for the dinner.
They do look very terrifying. They look terrifying.
Those texts that we've been getting as well all morning.
Yes, there was loads that were coming in, and it was just in relation to the HSE with what's going on there. Obviously, been in the health committee because there's a lot of talk over budget. Dorothy said I had chest pain and went straight to the A&E. Within 2 weeks, I had a double bypass. I couldn't praise them enough. I am home now, recovering, watching Ireland AM. And Dorothy, thank you so much. Thank God we're not going to give you something else with your heart. We want you to be okay.
You've gone through enough.
You have gone through enough.
But regardless, thanks for putting us on.
It's amazing that you're doing so well. Thank you for getting in contact.
Good to hear. Yeah, thanks.
That is all from us today. A huge thank you to Ray for coming in, for being the best boy in the world.
I have to go to work now.
Brendan Courtney and Sonia Lennon will be here tomorrow. We'll be back from 7 a.m.
Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.